Why, hello, Jerv.
Your repurposed freighter drifts through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign. Oh, did we? That's cool. I can pivot. The smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils. Hold up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign. Alright, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools as weird phenomena plague abandoned nuclear sites. Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, three strangers will meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general out for revenge, and a space mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters. How did you do that? I have the right tools for the job.
This is Grace coming at you live from the dungeons of Aufstrag. Now, they haven't spotted me yet, so it's really important that I stay quiet while I deliver this very special announcement from Troll Lord Games. Our crowdfunding campaign for the Reforged Adventurers backpack begins in the last week of May or the first week of June, and you'll be able to find it on BackerKit. Now, basically, the Reforged Adventurers backpack is your ultimate expansion for Castles and Crusades. Inside, you'll find 13 completely unique character classes, each brimming with story potential, and now fully leveled up for high-level play. You'll also find a treasure trove of specialized gear packs. And obviously, there's one tailor-made for every single class in the game, but we didn't stop there. We've lovingly hand-packed, pre-made equipment bags for every kind of hobby, profession, or weird little interest that your character could possibly have. Seriously, everything from brewing, to trapping, to performing, to Anyway, we've also included updated rules for multi-classing, class and a half, and dual classing. Now, finally explained in a way that won't make your wizard cry. And last but certainly not least, all of the pages have been cleansed of their ancient bindings. So there's no more OGL content. New layout, new art, maximum magic. So whether you're a cunning arcane thief, or a brave skald, or just a thief with a dream, it's time to gear up, roll high, and carry out your destiny in style. I think the coast is clear, and it's time for me to move on. We'll see you in BackerKit. Close. Just gotta be ready for everything. Really super quiet. It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, heavy. Crap. This is Grace coming at you live from...
They're counting on you. Against all odds, we've made it this far. But we both know that the old ways aren't going to work this time. This journey has changed us, changed you. But it's not over yet. You need the right tools for the job.
Trollord Games, join the fray.
And there we are, live.
Oh my God.
Live at 5:30 Eastern.
Yo.
Yo, we're in the house. What's up, everybody?
Greetings, gamers.
Thank you, Lando. I'm assuming someone bought one. Somebody bought one.
Gamers and wait, we gotta come up with
What's
a
up,
whole
gamers?
thing.
What's up, supporters?
Gamers,
What's up, fam?
don't be an
Trollord
NPC.
family.
That's right.
Don't be a prompt.
I thought
We
we
have
should call
come
them
to
gobos.
hang out with you, answer questions, make up shit, talk about shit. We do have a giveaway going on over here on twitch.tv/TrollerGames. You can come over and give us a follow, and exclamation point raffle will get you in for some coupon codes on the store. That's the only place we can do this, unfortunately, thanks to the internet being everywhere but nowhere. And so, jump in. What's up, Doug? Good to see you, buddy. Lucidius, good to see you. Who else is in here rolling around? JDH, first time welcome in. Wolf Alone, The Fine Line. Look, there's Tyler. Ring Montel Weeding enjoying the fine live stream. That's right. Death Angels in the
Bring on
house.
Kale.
Manford.
He's gonna be at a convention near you.
That's right. David North Art. Hey, what's up, Dave? Good to see you. Lots of people in here. Snow Jay's in here. Callus. All Golf. Dark Elf. DM Chris. What's up there, Brawl Con?
And the rest.
And the rest.
And the rest. Hello, everybody.
Vegeta. Nice
We
to see
could
you
just
guys.
sit here all night saying individually hello to
Yeah.
everybody.
Hey, Ronnie, what's up? Back in the days when we had like
That'll
two
be a
viewers,
whole
it was no problem.
The skipper, Marianne.
Good to see everybody. No
billionaire and his
Kale
wife.
allowed. So if you've got any questions, throw them up at us. We're just going to be sitting there shooting shit with you guys. It's toward the end of the week for us, so
Doesn't feel like it.
it never
I feel like
feels
this is like the eighth Monday in a row.
like
Wait,
Ron
what are
Perlman.
those shows now? Those survival shows? What are they?
Survival shows.
Yeah,
Survival shows. There's like
that's that. Our
8
modern
million
day
of them.
Gilligan's Island is a survivor shows. That sort of.
I guess so.
Gilligan's Island was funnier.
Except
Yeah.
that Gilligan's Island didn't have a full medical crew standing on by to make sure that nobody's ever actually in real danger and
Yeah.
slipping them food between takes and yeah.
It's tough. That was a tough time. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the only ones that look like realistic to me are the, I guess the Alaskan Survivor ones. I guess maybe.
And I guarantee they still have a medical crew standing by to
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure
Well, they'd
that
have
nobody's in
to,
real
yeah.
danger.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah.
I think the only ones that might be kind of real are the ones where it's like online and it's just like one guy carrying a camera around. Those
Yeah.
feel kind of real.
Who was that guy? That's funny you mentioned that. There was that guy. I think he was from Minnesota or Wisconsin. He would do that. He was sort of the first one to do that. He would go film himself. He would just drop himself off in the wildest of locations and then
I think
survive for like.
the big one was Outdoor Boys, which just ended.
Yeah.
That show ended.
This was before Outdoor Boys.
Okay.
Uh,
Survivor Man?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't do
No.
reality TV
No.
of any sort.
No, this is an internet. This is an internet program.
yeah, it was all internet thing. It wasn't reality TV.
It was reality internet, which I also don't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Outdoor Boys was really cool.
It was
Each
great.
their own, Jason. Some of us like
He would
It takes all kinds to make the world go round.
he was an Alaskan. I think he was like a lawyer or something that just like was like into extreme survival on
Yeah.
the weekend. And so he'd be like, I'm going north of the Arctic Circle for 4 days, and I gotta whatever he did. I don't know.
Yeah.
He would cold camp and stuff at like crazy locations. I was like, how is he
Oh,
doing?
yeah.
Like, and he'd record it all, and it was interesting.
Yeah, no, they were really good. Some of them had really, really good survival advice in it, unlike others, which were ridiculous
Yeah.
survival advice. But whatever. Like the Bear Gillis. I know there's a big fan base for Bear Gillis, and I like watching it.
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's it. And then I was like, and then they were doing like the behind the scenes of some of his stuff, and I was like, you've got to be kidding.
Oh, there's like 30 people. Yeah, there's like
Yeah.
several PAs, a camera operator, boom guy,
Yeah.
medical staff, someone with anti-venom, you know.
Yeah, and it was like they had the and it was so much of it was staged, absolutely.
That's what I was just gonna say. So much
Yeah.
of those shows is actually it's completely phony because it's scripted and staged.
So
Yeah.
a big thing when I was little was back when Animal Planet was about animals.
Yeah.
They had the Crocodile Hunter, which I think everybody knows.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who doesn't know that. But sometimes, like even as a kid, I'd be like, boy, it's really convenient that he found this like really interesting thing right here out in broad
Yeah.
daylight. But then other stuff was definitely not faked, like him jumping in to crocodile infested waters.
Right,
Like, that kind of
right.
shit was real, and you're like,
As
God damn.
evidenced by the fact that he died from a
Yeah,
stingray.
he died from a stingray.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it
I
was
see a
funny.
disturbing.
Oh,
I see a disturbing trend going on here in the chat. There's a lot of hate for kale. I'm not sure what's brought this on.
Kale the vegetable.
Yeah,
I'm
so
with them. I hate it.
do you
Or
hate-
Kale the
Fine.
singer.
What?
Kale's fine.
Kale the rapper.
No.
I hate that too. So whatever kind of kale they hate, I'm right there with them.
Kale the raper. Okay, so I'm gonna put a poll up. We'll do it. For
Kale
2
is the
minutes.
devil's saran wrap.
There we go. Join the poll. Let us know what you
Kale's
think.
pretty good for you, I thought.
All right.
Kale is very good for you,
Good
but
for you doesn't mean good.
I will say I do not purchase kale because a lot of my vegetables I feed to my animals, and kale binds calcium, which can cause metabolic bone disease in reptiles. So
Ooh.
if you want to fuck up
Really?
a lizard real bad, feed him kale.
Yeah,
Or
here it's
spinach.
healthy for you. Eat the kale.
No, it like calcify it causes their bones to like warp.
So
it's really bad for them.
theoretically, in a setting where you're fighting dinosaurs, you give them a salad and they die, right?
Well, assuming that the digestion of a dinosaur is UV dependent, which I don't think it is.
Yeah, keep in mind they now think that a lot of dinosaurs were actually warm-blooded. They weren't
Oh.
reptiles; they were proto
That
birds.
sorcery. Get them thoughts out of here. No way. Maybe the Birdmen were.
I'll just stick with my lembus.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you can't. What is it? You can't evolve out of a clade or a group, so you can't have
Wait,
a classification.
They're saying in chat that if it's cooked, kale's actually really good. But as
Yeah, they
is,
say kale's better when it's blanched, but that just seems like a lot of work.
all I've ever had it has been 2 ways. My wife used to make me drink a juice of it. It was horrible, but I did it for a little while. Now it's ruined my life. But we'll get into that. And the other way
Kale
was just
chips
a kale salads, the ones you can buy like at Sam's or wherever, you know. And
Yeah.
they got little nuts and shit in them. They're not bad.
I'll go up to bat for a kale chip. That's
A kale
I'm
chip?
allergic
I've never
to
had one.
chlorophyll.
it's just like it's just kale that you put in the oven.
I just throw kale into my salad. That's it. I mean,
Well,
it's supposed to be blanched first, really?
What is that thumping?
I was just
What the
making a
fuck is
joke.
that?
That's Davis. His leg.
I'll stop.
Let's talk about literally anything else other
Let's
than
see.
kale.
Let's see.
I agree. Let's talk about anything but kale.
Well, let's see where the poll is getting us right yet. We still got a few more minutes. Oh
I got
my
a
God,
jade
it's
frog.
tied. Half the chat thinks it's
Steve is
good.
going to come on here later and shit himself. He finds out that we
Winner
wasted an
of
hour
the
talking about
poll.
kale.
Winner of the poll gets a jade frog purchased in Shanghai, China.
Okay,
there's
but
no win- it's a
if
poll,
we're not
it's
going
not
to talk
that-
about kale,
Anyway, we
then
got some
let's talk
questions.
about onions.
So, first question up. Oh, this is for me, I guess. This is from Savage Splendor. Any preference on how to do ability stats for Saturday's game? Oh, he didn't tell you? I gave him all that information.
No,
I'm
he didn't.
I
I
apologize.
told him he was
Savage.
running it.
I apologize, Savage. Yes. Jeremy, you might want to remind him of this, but it's very simple. 46 drop the lowest. That's all I care about. And stick to Adventurer's Backpack or Player's Handbook for classes. All right?
Okay, wait a second. So I've been away for like a week, and accidentally I've been out of contact, right?
Hold on. Hey, hold on. Dev,
Yeah, go ahead.
I saw your comment. It's supposed to be for 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, or whatever. What was it? Oh, no. 8:30 is when you would be. Yeah, that's correct.
When you join the call, yeah.
Yeah,
9
so
o'clock.
quit bitching. All right, yeah, I'm right. Yeah, never mind. I was being confused by the shadow there. Continue on, Davis, with your spouse.
Okay, so I've been away from a week, right?
Yeah.
I've been sort of out of internet, accidentally out of internet access, couldn't get onto the computer, and just my work week turned into a vacation.
We didn't tell anybody you got
Accidental
kidnapped, by the way, so you don't have to explain.
vacation. Yeah.
All right.
So catch me up.
On what?
We've shipped
You didn't miss anything.
we've shipped 900 packages out of the warehouse this week.
We argued a lot, probably.
Argued a lot,
I remember.
We talked
And
about
me and
Star
Jeremy are
Wars too much
snatching our
last week.
me and
We
Jeremy
did
are
talk about
gnashing our
Star
teeth over ABP. So
Yeah.
that's bad.
No, we have nothing but good, glowing things to say about ABP, sir, because it's like a butterfly emerging from the chrysalis.
That is true.
Let's see.
That is true. What are you working on right now, Davis? Weren't you working on city, villages?
Guilds and
Towns.
orders or something, or towns.
Towns. No, finished guilds and orders. I'm on to
Hovels.
town.
What's smaller than a town?
Hovels.
I mean,
Engineering hovels.
are you gonna do one from? You gonna do one on mega cities?
You know what would probably be more interesting?
That's an April
than-
Fool's release, Davis. Engineering hovels. That would be
You know-
great.
You know what would probably be more, not to disparage towns, but I don't know that there's a substantive difference between a village and a town. But layers, like villain layers, engineering layers, I think would be.
Yeah,
really
you know
cool.
what? Back in the day, AD&D had a couple.
blue
of source
book, yeah,
books
the
of
layers book.
layers. They had like
Yeah.
5 books of layers, and they were awesome. They were just
Yeah.
like full of like 3-page mini adventures.
Here's a layer
basically.
for your lich.
Here's a
layer
layer,
for
and
your
here's what it's
beholder.
populated, and here's some adventure
Yeah.
ideas, and go.
Yeah.
That would be a really neat. Yeah,
Groovy. The
that would be something the whole crew could like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be.
Everybody starts submitting layers, and
We could almost write it like we did the Monstrous Armory, right? Where like everybody
Yeah.
takes their creature and
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
We should do that. Make it happen, Jeremy.
we'll add it to the pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, add it to the pile. I would rather like the idea of sort of a collective work where, like, I mean, some would say lich, for example, since you brought it up, like layer of a lich. Then one of you come up with an idea. Lich wouldn't be me, but then you'd come up with an idea. Then you just shift it to the next person. Okay, here's my ideas, and then the second guy just adds to it. Like, this is my thinking, and then it comes all the way back around. So there's like 4 or 5 people putting their input.
Into
And
into
then
each
the final-
layer.
Yeah. So that we get all those different perspectives, you know.
That's
Uh,
interesting, Davis. That would be.
Yeah, that is
Now-
a neat idea. Like
That's a
round
neat
robin.
idea, but it might read like a schizophrenic simulator. Where
Well,
it's
what
like
you'd have to
jumping
do then is
around.
that the first person who originated would have to take the final round robin
And edit
put
it together.
Right, they would be
Yeah,
the
you
person in
get-
charge of actually putting it
Yeah,
all
yeah,
together, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
you'd probably have to limit to like I wouldn't have no more than like 40 people doing it probably at one time. No, I'm joking. More like 5
people.
maybe or something. I don't know.
No. You get 10,000 people. Each person has to do 2 words.
Yeah.
There
gotta be-
was.
You have to be.
Oh yeah, Book of Layers, Manfred. That's a great one. 1 and 2. That's good stuff.
I think I have 3 of them here.
I don't have any of
There
those.
were-
I
yeah.
wanted them.
I don't think I have any left.
I've got
I had some, but I don't have any left. I still have no idea what happened.
All my AD&D modules are all the way up there.
That's
I'd have to
Chris.
stand up to get them.
I did randomly find a old pack of Illuminati cards. The Illuminati game from the 1970s.
The only AD&D
80s.
book I have handy.
What's
I
that?
found a pack under my lawnmower. I was like, how did a pack of Illuminati cards get under my lawnmower? I had no idea.
That's really strange.
Yeah, it's all covered in oil and everything. So I figured the dog got into something, drug it out there, and I parked over it
Yeah,
accidentally.
there we go. Well, what would be good? Like what? Vampire.
My
Dragon.
manual of the planes is actually downstairs. I don't have it up here. I have all the other ones up here.
Lacrata? That'd be a good layer.
That'd be weird. That'd be different.
It'd be different.
Lamia,
Lamia.
Nagas.
They don't all have to be violent.
Nagas.
They don't have to be violent. Think about it. Could be
No,
something
you
where
could do
got
like-
Lamia or something doing a.
You could do a lair of the Halfling King.
Flump.
You know,
The lair of the
Kobold
flump.
lair.
The mighty flumph.
We
Aboleth,
don't use that
sure,
word here, Jason.
abhorrent.
That's like it gets terms of service. Now we can't.
Nobody disparages the flumph in my presence. The mighty
Hey,
Flumph.
when the Flump was in Castles and Crusades, and I was writing that book of playable monsters, I was like, that fucking thing is going in it.
Manfred,
I
are you
love
saying that you have
It's-
all of the AD&D?
It's lawful good. It has human intelligence. It has a fairly reasonable movement speed. It can't fly. It just kind of hovers. It has tentacles that it can use to manipulate objects,
And it can be a paladin.
and it can be yeah, it's lawful good.
yeah.
Like, and it's small size. Like, nothing about it suggests that it could not be a
Wait,
playable race.
was that what
Well,
was,
in
was
fact-
it, is that what was in the?
AD&D? In original AD&D, only humans could be paladins. But
Sure.
if I remember right, the flump was a stated exception to that.
Was it?
Flumps
That's funny.
could
Wait,
actually be
in-
paladins.
Hold on. In Life of Brian, Holy Grail,
With the alien, yeah,
yeah, is that Flumps in the alien ship? Maybe.
I'm sure.
Yeah, why not?
Why
It
not?
sounded like you were describing him. That's all. Flump Lord, demi-plane of
It's like a
30
j-
plus HD godling. No kidding there, Carrot. Hilarious.
Oh, the skeleton. What's the skeleton king lord guy? What
Nice,
is it?
Manfred.
Skeleton warrior.
Yeah, one of those.
I think we should just call him the Skeleton King Lord guy.
Yeah.
King Lord guy.
That's a good name. Yes.
We should
I
rename
kinda like,
all
I
our
like Davis's
monsters to
Halfling
things like
King.
that.
That's kind of cool too.
A coatl, kobold.
Uh,
I mean, a coatl lair would probably just be like a temple to the sun or something.
Right.
Yeah.
consider
An
a
old
random
mine
page.
temple, and it's hanging out in there. You know.
You can actually. There's like a Lamusu. You got like all those sphinxes.
Yeah, that's
You want
true.
to go underwater, Kraken? You could do
You
a
could have like a
Kraken.
big.
Kraken lair
you
would be
could- You
cool.
could have a layer
Yeah.
filled with puzzles and
Dragon turtle.
They have
That'd
to
be
figure
cool.
them out when they get to the end. There's a big gynosphinx there that answers like the final riddle or whatever, you know. And if they don't, they die. Mummies would be good. That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought about mummies.
Of course, we now have the Eye Stalker, which could have a lair.
Yeah.
Oh, did you like the screen psych? Thank goodness. I had a time with that trying to figure out what to put on there. Excellent.
The Eye Stalker, which of course is a completely original monster, and not at
Yeah,
all
it
based
is
on-
because it's got little limbs and they've atrophied. And it's,
All right, this is just
it's a
in.
supreme telepath from another planet.
65% of chat said no, just no to Kale. All right, it's been made official. We were going to give Kale away next week to all shipments, but we're not going to do it now. Get it.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, okay. I'm growing kale out in the backyard. It's not doing too well.
It's not. I wouldn't imagine it would. So
You
far
could
from what I
totally-
can tell,
You
nothing
could
grows
totally
in Arkansas.
do a
Except for-
nod to The Hobbit and do a werebear lair,
Oh, that'd be
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
like a
perfect.
homestead. Yeah,
like Beorn. Yeah.
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 That would be cool.
Really large bees.
Hey, man. Do we have
I'm
giant
totally
bees
not
somewhere?
just randomly
No, we
flipping
don't.
through monsters and treasure right now.
You know it'd be cool. So you know that thing in Africa where they took that termite mound and poured lead into it, or ant mound, or poured lead
Yeah,
into it.
I've seen videos like that. And they're just massive things.
Yeah, just get that map and then turn it into a kobold lair.
Well, it doesn't even need to be kobolds. I've thought for
Yeah.
a long time we have giant ants
Yes.
in the monster menu or monsters and treasure. And we don't have an adventure that utilizes that fact at all.
Yeah, a monster ant lair would be
Yeah.
pretty
Dude,
bad.
could you imagine?
That would be a dungeon to explore.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
You'd
yeah.
have
Like
to be
the queen's at the bottom, and like
Me too,
maybe they're
Jacob.
like taking stuff because like they don't, they're just like collecting food or whatever.
And you know what? I feel like that's not a layer that you would delve into. That would be a layer that you get trapped in, and the goal
Yeah,
of the
for sure.
adventure is to get the hell out.
Now,
Yeah,
if you
'cause
wanted to be really nasty about it,
Yeah,
is you would make them giant bees. That might be even worse.
a hive.
dude,
yeah.
no one
Yeah.
would. You'd have to be like 50th level to get through something like that.
Well, the existence of these monsters is like, god damn, there's a
Right.
nest of ants this big over there, and there's 6,000 of them in there. This town should not exist.
That's terrifying,
Yeah,
man.
no.
It's terrifying. They would just
No.
swarm. They would murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose though, if they were that large, they wouldn't mound up as big or collectively as they
dig
do.
deeper.
Yeah.
Groovy says
Maybe,
Fomorian ants are a thing. Are they?
Not in our game.
No, I think he means in real life.
Wait, what do ants eat?
Look. Oh, it is real. Holy shit.
I don't even know what ants eat.
Memoria
They actually
is like,
they eat other insects.
Really?
What does?
Memoria is
Well,
like,
what
it
does?
depends on the species of ant, but yes,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of them will kill and eat other insects. They'll drag them back to their lair.
Yeah, ants don't give a
Ground
shit,
for-
man. They're cold blooded, man. They will take you down.
They're the
Yeah.
honey badger of the
Don't give a
insect
shit,
world.
man. If
No,
some
that's
dude
the
gets left
ladybug.
out, he'll just murder one of
That's
his
the
buddies
ladybug.
and start eating him.
Japanese ladybug.
the ladybug. No joke. The ladybug is one of the most horrific
Right.
insects
You
around.
know? Oh, bull. I mean, I know the praying
No,
mantis
it's-
is. 'Cause it's
No,
dead.
no, a ladybug is like if you scaled both up to the same. If you shrunk down to the size of an ant,
Yeah.
you would have a way worse time with the ladybug than you would with the praying mantis. Full
Why?
stop.
They're cute.
They will they will shred you apart with their mandibles, very, very, very slowly.
Ooh, that
And
sounds
they
nasty.
almost all of them have a. This is not a joke. Almost every single ladybug in the world has an STD. That's a
What?
real
You
thing.
said that at the perfect time.
Yeah.
You're full of shit. What are you talking about, bro? What is
It's a-
this
it's a-
nonsense?
No, it's true.
What kind of STD?
I'm wearing Dr. Pepper right now on my face. A little bit.
Oh no! I have to go in and get tested. Damn it!
Yeah, so what we know is never ever sleep with a ladybug.
You never touch a ladybug.
Oh
Never
my
touch a
God!
ladybug.
Savage has got it in chat. Ladybugs can carry a sexually transmitted fungus called, which is transferred through the direct body-to-body contact during mating. This is disgusting. This fungus is not harmful to humans. Bullshit, Klaus. It feeds on the ladybug's internal fluids and can make them more vulnerable to predators. That is you weren't kidding, bro. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
But can you milk a ladybug?
Oh, dude,
No.
don't go down that road, please, for the love of
Yes.
God. Oh my God.
Just bring that one back.
I
No,
need to-
look. If you ever want to see how horrific
Steve,
a
come help
ladybug
me.
eating
Help.
something,
Reel
Watch-
it back in. Reel it back in.
watch a video of a ladybug eating an aphid. You will never see anything more horrific in your life.
Aphids are
Except for
terrifying
maybe
anyway.
a vinegaroon, because their chelicerae are just like shredding
Man,
machines that inject
I can
venom
think
the
of
entire
something
time.
more horrific.
me
than a
and the
ladybug.
wife tried to
Stuck in
watch.
in his jockey shorts.
Oh my God. Me and the wife tried to watch Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom again the other day, which I still enjoyed it. But my God, that woman on there is so annoying. I wanted to just go through the screen.
I
and
don't
destroy
mind
it.
Here's
her.
one.
I don't
Oh my
mind
God,
her.
she's just
Which
terrible.
one's
But-
super?
but-
I'm gonna look to see which
But
one's
let me
Lily's
get
super.
fine.
back.
I don't
let
mind
me get
Lily.
back to my point. You remember the part where they're going through? Wait a minute. Yeah, and all those bugs.
They're
are
the
crawling
bug
on.
room, yeah.
And
yeah.
what are those long fucking things, man? Like this big.
It's
crawl.
some kind of stick bug. Yeah, I don't know.
Man, no way, bro. I would be out. I'm telling you.
There's some.
Why do
there's some-
we have creatures in Monsters and Treasure that you cannot pronounce their names?
Where are they? What is it?
This thing.
Well, I wanted to change the name of that, but it didn't get approved.
The Zixel Zixel?
Ixayarsa.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
It's unpronounceable because they speak their own tongue. Apparently, I'm
Yeah.
just guessing because that's what it says in the description that they. Speak
Yeah, I have
Hey,
no idea
Chris.
where the name.
I don't know.
Message
we use a
me
layer
in
for that?
Discord, Chris. I'll see if I can give you a little bit of help, buddy. Go ahead. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. Yeah, I figures Bake would laugh about that sex thing. Don't go down that road. Hey,
Wraith
John.
Wisp. Man,
Jason, I saw your Facebook
Yes.
post about the job with Audi. What a joke, my friend. Clearly way too qualified for him. From Agile Monks.
what?
Agile Monks just saying that that's bullshit with Audi.
Oh, the job with Aldi. Yeah.
Aldi, yeah.
Yeah,
Aldi.
yeah. Apparently, I'm too dumb to get a job as a manager at Aldi. So,
No. But
Did
yeah,
you-
mummies give you the opportunity for
I
spirit mummies.
hate that overqualified crap. It's the most ridiculous reason to not call somebody back for a job. I was actually I was talking to a manager at Hot Topic the other day, and she was talking about how, oh yeah, I've not hired people because they're overqualified. I said, you realize that most people don't apply for jobs just to get a job. Most people apply for jobs that they want the job. Like, especially management level. Now, if you're talking about just like somebody in a cashier jockey, but if somebody applies for a management level position, it's because it's a job they want to be in.
Oh, clearly.
You know?
Yeah.
Generally speaking. So wait, you applied at Aldi actually?
I did, because Aldi
They were
managers,
looking for,
like store managers,
like,
can
baggers,
make six
right? Oh.
figures.
It's good
Yeah.
pay. It's good pay.
Yeah.
And I got a thanks but no thanks from them. And it's probably because I'm overqualified, because I have a master's degree and I have, all this technical experience. I do have management experience, but it's probably because they decided, why does this guy want to work at Aldi? And they didn't want to give me a chance. And it's ridiculous. So
Chris says maybe it's because they figured you would stay, that you don't typically are looking for a career job.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what's ridiculous about it. This idea that oh, they know you won't stay. Bullshit. If I'm applying for a management job, it's not because I'm looking for a way out.
I see. Yeah.
If I was applying for a job as a cashier, then yeah, maybe it's because I'm out of options. But a management job, that's not something you apply for because you want to look for something better.
Right. Agile Monk asks Jeremy, when do they stop torturing you, if ever?
I'll let you know.
So,
Rick
John,
Gonsalves,
just so you
I'm
know,
old enough to-
when Jeremy was much younger, he's actually like I think 92 or something. When he was much younger, before he made the deal with Satan, he wanted to be young again, and he became that way. But the price of that was working with us, and now he is in the living hell.
Now Jeremy's going to end up with gray hair.
It's why I can have an informed decision, informed opinion on Gilligan's Island.
All right, Jeremy, let's throw down Marianne or Ginger.
What's that?
I don't know. I just know the intro.
See, I'm a Marianne guy all the way.
Are you really? I can see that with you.
Well, you know what? I love redheads, man. I love redheads, but I got to go with Marianne when it comes to Gilligan's Island. I'm a Marianne guy.
There's a sea of Marianne support coming in.
Yeah, look at it. Marianne.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I feel like Marianne would be faithful to you.
Davis.
Like
John Fisher asked, Agile Monk asked, Davis.
Ginger would be like dating Marilyn Monroe. She's crazy and she's going to step out on you.
Wait. What's the? Oh, whoops.
Have you decided if you can? Fisher wants to know, or Agile Monk wants to know, have you decided if you can burn your name into my backpack? I got
my name.
Yeah, he wants you to burn your name into it.
Every single backpack is going to have Davis's name burned into it.
I'd like to get a brand.
A lighter and some lighter fluid. I haven't looked yet.
All you need is a soldering iron. You can burn your name into anything.
Yeah, right.
True.
I'll have to look at the backpack first before we can figure that out. We may get I think there's the possibility of doing a what is it called when you burn the cow?
You're talking about getting a brand. You
Don't
get a
make
brand.
that motion on camera, Davis.
Yeah.
Branding. We're going to brand the cow, but you can do cold branding or hot branding. So we'll look at it and see. But I need the material in hand to do.
Some of the Grey Raven thinks I need to move to Eastern PA where dippy eggs aren't a thing. You shut your whore mouth.
You be nice to Will. Will's a
I
nice
don't even know what
guy.
that means.
I like dippy
Both
eggs.
of them do. Both of them
You
do.
like dippy eggs.
No.
Oh, Dave, you gotta sign a bunch of starter kits here pretty soon.
Yes.
That was
Many.
a joke. In case anybody's wondering.
Oh,
That
Will's
was not
okay.
said
He
with
can
material.
take it. He can take
You
it.
gotta.
Did the starter kits come in?
They're
sorta?
I don't know. Sorta. All I know is everybody but the guy who wrote it is gonna sign it.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe you can talk Kent into flying you down.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Driving you down.
No, that's not gonna. Because he's like, how long would you be away from your desk? No, you're not doing that.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we can send you a card, and you could sign the cards, and we could put the cards in the box.
That's actually would be nice because it gives them
Yeah.
something else to have.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's actually often a good way when you have people all over the country. It's a good way to collect signatures to an
On a
insert
card, yeah.
Yeah.
Smart. Something to think about.
well, he's got several of our signatures on file
Yeah. Okay.
That's
so
concerning. Why?
because
You can do that for
we have
books
to-
too. You can
yeah.
have adhesive book plates made, and then you just ship them all over the country, and everybody that needs to sign signs the book plate, and then it goes back and they get slapped in the
Yeah.
book. That makes extra work for
Sure.
the office because somebody has to put the book plates in the books. But
Yeah. All right. So while I was away and the world turned upside down, the what's the thing came in? The books came in for the basic set or intro set or whatever we're calling it.
No, the boxes came in.
Oh, the boxes came in. So
Right,
maybe-
didn't
okay.
Chuck, didn't they?
Yeah,
The
he's got-
boxes.
yeah. There's some kind of problem with something he's trying to fix. I think they're going to ship next week.
Okay.
Oh no,
Oh.
starter kits are going to ship at the very end of week, not this coming week, but the following week.
So what you're saying is 2 weeks.
Yeah, more or less. Originally it was supposed to ship this week or next week, but something put it off a week. I forget what it is now. So much going on, I can't keep track of it. We've shipped, I don't know, almost 800 packages since Monday. So I don't.
It's nuts.
It's insane.
It's been kind of
Jason-
nice actually, because Steven's been so busy, he hasn't had time to pull me
you
off
got
to do other things.
Do what? What's that?
Steven's so busy, he hasn't like pulled me in different directions to do stuff because he's just packing boxes.
it's true. Yeah.
What the fuck is he packing?
Reforged,
Canopy Green, all the Reforged stuff.
second wave of Reforged, and all the international Reforged all went out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Pretty much everybody that back to Reforged got packages going out still. Tomorrow
We should
too.
do
Agile Monk, you're
Yeah, I
gonna.
know, Ronnie.
I just looked at the PDF for the directing the game booklet. That it's pretty cool. I think you'll be happy.
Good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I'll drive down and sign it, and I'll talk to Steve about sending you a card.
No, don't. I don't care. I think it's just funny.
Yeah,
I don't really care.
No, I think it would be cool though if we do that. Also, it would just make you write your name like 300 or 400 times.
And then I would regret it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, then you'd regret it.
He's already way ahead of the curve on that one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make your life more miserable, Jeremy.
Pile it on.
Okay.
No, things are all right.
Yeah. Things in my neck of the woods are perfect. Couldn't be better. Hardly any inconvenience.
I got a
You know-
Jade Frog. Do you have a
what I
Jade
think?
Frog?
You know, I think it's awesome.
No,
Davis,
but
is
I
the
do
fact-
have the turtle.
Oh shit!
I have a turtle.
Hey, do I have a turtle?
I don't have a turtle. I've got a.
You're a Mastix lizard. He's
I've
over
got
there.
a mimic mini
Actually,
right here.
I have 4 of those. All 4 of them.
This is a cheesesteak mini. Right. I got it page
Did you
last
call
year.
me?
That's all I have. I had a bunch of shit. My granddaughters. Slowly but
I have
surely
a,
pulled it
I have a
away.
Jade Dragon.
Wow. Look at you.
I got a Jade Rabbit.
Come join our stream as we show you what we keep in our office area.
I have
I got a Jade Lion.
I have a blast
Let it go.
St. George.
I ain't got shit over here to show nobody. I really don't.
Mine is a headless St. George.
I got
pretty
this.
cool.
I actually have several Blast Tech deals.
Who has one of these? Anybody have one of these? Huh?
I have one of those. Yes,
I have
not in front of me, but I do have 2 of them actually.
I have a really great Conan novel
I have that
and
one.
and a really not great Conan novel.
Oh, is that not good? I haven't
It's-
started that one yet.
It's him with a little kid, so
Oh, okay. There's
it's a little too cute.
Onyx Goat. Oh man, for
one
you're being
somebody
clever.
wrote, which was one of the first of the new ones. It's like something of the serpent.
The Obsidian, yeah.
It's a prequel to Red
Show
Nails.
and
It's
tell
not good
Thursday.
at all.
I was not terribly impressed with that.
No, it's so boring. It's just
I gotta
Conan
find
it.
something, man. I
around
have
and not
nothing to.
fighting anybody.
Oh, I can show you this.
City of the Dead is great.
This
Yeah.
is I could not believe how good this
My
was.
granddaughter
Like,
got me this week for
'Cause,
Father's Day,
like,
and it is amazing.
non-Howard Conan stuff is
In
usually.
fact, I'm gonna
just
read one for Davis.
awful.
Davis, you ready?
Yeah, City of the Dead is really, really good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just
but even
randomly
like
pick one.
Emerald Lotus, I never read that before, and that's
Yeah.
in here too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is great. So check it out. If you haven't.
I've got a dental appointment.
Davis, what kind of sickness are
For
martial
showing off
artists
the Alien Anthology.
Oh hell yeah!
I'll wait.
Yeah.
All right. What kind
Do
of
I?
sickness? What kind of sickness does martial artists often get?
Kung flu.
Milking sickness.
Oh, Kung Flu. That's a good one. I don't know what.
Kung
Jeremy
flu.
guessed it.
Yeah.
All right.
Kung Flu.
All
Sorry,
right,
I
let's
stole your
see.
joke.
Next question. This is a really easy one. No, it's okay. These are dad jokes. It's fine. What did the coach say to the broken vending machine?
Who cares?
What did the coach say to the broken vendor?
Something about change. I don't know. Coach.
Give me my
vending
quarterback.
Oh, okay. That's pretty bad.
Let's see. Last one. I'll give one more, and we'll go back to.
This is what we've resorted to, by the way.
This is what we've fought. Yeah, this is how mighty we've fallen.
No, you
Some
know
of
what's
these.
worse?
continue.
Listen,
Please
I thought this
continue.
is for kids, but some of these I would never read to my granddaughter in a million years. Man.
No, I'm sure.
No way.
Where's that book?
Uh,
I have
two
a
of-
book.
I'm not going to read that one. No, it's not.
I have a book of like carnal jokes. It's
Oh my
called
God!
Bathroom-
Bake's got a book on limericks that you cannot read in the public.
There
Yeah,
used,
no.
Back in the day, there used to be a series of books called Truly Tasteless Jokes. There were like 13 or 14 volumes,
Really?
and they are the filthiest, most inappropriate jokes you've ever.
Were they
read
like
in
street
your life.
jokes or?
Hey,
They're straight jokes and riddles.
there you go.
Yeah.
So what do you
Yeah.
call a man with 6 fingers? Huh?
Now, ruin it.
You
A
know,
weirdo.
A weirdo.
4 fingers
Now,
short.
ruin.
Or oh, okay. That's
Four finger what?
Four fingers short.
short.
That's kind of cute.
That's cute. Yeah, I'll give you that.
What do you call a pony?
This is
With
your
a
last
sore-
one.
with a
We're
sore
gonna do this.
throat.
This is your last one,
All
Chuck.
right, this is
A
one I
little
know.
horse.
Yeah,
It's
little horse. Exactly. That was
yeah.
from a movie. Anybody know? Top secret. Anyway.
2001 as space opera.
He said,
My Little
what is
Pony."
wrong with your what is wrong with your pony? Ah, he's just a little horse. Anyway.
I knew a guy who once threw himself off the 12th floor of a building, and as he passed each floor on the way down, people heard him yell, "So far, so good." He's dead now.
Yeah.
Oh
pretty
my
good.
God. Let me see here.
That is also from a movie.
Oh yeah, Fingers of Wondrous Power. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you, Manfred. One of my favorites too. I love those cool
Okay,
things.
wait. Who has seen the My Little Pony shows?
There's like 8 of them.
Who wants to
Yes.
admit to have seen the My Little Pony show?
I'll admit to it in a heartbeat because I
Shit.
watched it with my kids, right?
I've never seen it.
And
All right,
you
I got
My
some,
Little
I got some real questions coming here now. My trick worked. I did some stupid jokes. Now people are asking questions. Fantastic.
Now
All right.
I did not realize the stuff that's gone on since My Little Pony came out. I found out about that much later.
He said,
But
Tyler said no.
That statement's doing a whole lot of lifting.
but the shows were actually really good.
Maybe I don't know.
All right.
They were. I mean, I have to say they were good. They were really good. I enjoyed them. Just like some of the old Disney shows are superb.
Where is? Let me look
You know
at
what's
the back of
great-
it real quick. I'll tell you.
You know what's a
Gummy
great?
Bears cartoon was awesome, and I
They had
will
a
die
great-
on that hill.
They had a great theme song.
Yeah.
You know what show fucking ruled? Was the
Wow, wow, whoopsie.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Gargoyles.
I was gonna say Batman, but Gargoyles too. Yeah,
Oh my
Gargoyles was awesome. Yeah.
Gargoyles. Was
Oh yeah,
cool.
the Batman the animated series was.
Which isn't Disney, but that's Warner
Yeah.
Brothers. But that's something I
Wow,
watched as a
wow,
kid,
whoopsie,
and I was like,
whoopsie, whoopsie, wow, wow.
I wasn't like
All right.
super entertained by it, but I was like, I could tell that there was like something like noteworthy about it. And I just kept
Yeah.
watching and watching and watching. And then you go back as an adult, and you're like, wow, this is really great television.
All right, so let me see here. Question from Jacob Zimmerman over on YouTube. What stretch goals are available to people who can only afford the physical adventures backpack? So for add-ons, we have placed on here the print and PDF versions for the 3 core books. You can get them separately or in a bundle. Either print or PDF version, not both. Castle Crusades, you got the screen, print or PDF. The Hermit, print or PDF. The Hermit screen, print or PDF. And then we've got the Trifold wallet, the backpack Eagles Keep in print or PDF. That's a adventure written by someone here in our chat right now, possibly Jeremy setting up is here, right? The new Rune Lore book, you can add it on for print or PDF. And then the Philian Notebook, which is the small.
I think that one's pretty strongly recommended. The Rune
one?
Lore book. The Rune Lore
yeah.
book.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I should have put.
Yeah.
I'll probably need to favorite that probably as a thing. Excellent. All right, let's see. Let me get back to questions here. Let's see. Question from Love Motor the Rule Laser. Love Motor at a laser. Question: should players really get mad at DM for putting traps in city sewers? I've heard who put traps in sewers for 40 years. I think it's a great place for traps.
No.
I mean, if you've got thieves guild hidden down there, right?
Here's the rules for traps. Here are the rules for traps.
Okay.
That'll save you every time. If you cannot explain how the trap works, who put it there, or why, if you cannot answer any of those questions, do not put the trap there.
Yeah, don't.
Just don't do it.
That's it.
If you can answer who put it there, why they put it there, and how it works, if you can answer all three of those, you can put a trap there.
There are absolutely reasonable traps to put into sewers that aren't necessarily traps. Like
more like hazards.
Yeah,
hazards.
Right.
Yeah, I think
whirlpools and
faulty
like
vat or vault or something that if you if you walk over it, it bursts the pipe or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, a distinction needs to be made between hazards and traps. So hazards you can put wherever. They just need structural reasons for the hazards or whatever.
That's
but right. In game reasons, it also needs a game reason. I mean,
what do you mean by game
sure,
reason? You mean a reason because why they're there? You mean
its presence should alter the game in some way?
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just wasting time. Essentially, I mean,
you're just describing the scenery.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's a pit here, but you can walk around it. You're like, okay, then why is it here?
Right.
What's
the point of pointing it out unless there's something?
I mean, maybe you could come back to it later and throw guys into the pit. Sure.
Or maybe it's a hint
but until
that
it becomes
that you need to search the pit. Maybe there's something hidden in the bottom. Who knows?
Sure.
Well, no, but there's a reason for the pit to be there, like structurally within your game. There should be a reason. You definitely one of the things. It could be scenery description, preparing the characters for. Oh, here's a pit, and they look in it. And, oh, there's smell of dead bodies, and they're like, okay, maybe they're going to come back to that later because they do throw people in there or something like that, But that's the whole thing. The hazard needs to have a reason within the game to sort of advance the game. Otherwise, yes, it's just like describing that's an elm tree with 50 limbs.
One of my
it's
favorite
a feature. It's not an actual active part of it, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do with traps is to especially if it's an old structure, is to just have them all broken. Like they're all like there might be skeletons mangled in them or something.
They've been set off already.
They've been set off. Like so, it's like ooh, there's a skeleton down there with a really nice wizard robe, but he's like impaled on like 16 different spikes. You're like, well, I guess I could go down there.
Well, see,
and then maybe that triggers the trap again. Who knows?
Right. I was gonna say those are great things to have too, because once players see that skeleton impaled with like 16 different, they're not gonna go anywhere near.
No, and you can put so much loot on there, like right out in the open. They're like, no.
And that's a clever way to hide your lair or whatever. Put that shit out in front. We're gonna go over here. That kind of thing.
But the whole setting a trap thing, someone has to set that trap. And then, as well as setting that trap, they have to come check the trap every once in a while to see if it's gone off, reset the trap, or disable the trap to move past it. I mean...
Yeah, I remember...
I also think that this brings up something to be said, too, about knowing your group and knowing what they like. As a CK, you might love traps, but if all it's going to do is piss off your players, don't put traps in your game.
Yeah.
Like I know people that absolutely love puzzles in role-playing games. If I'm in a game and puzzles start coming up, my eyes glaze over, I go blank, and I check out completely until we're past the puzzle. I just don't do it. It's just me. But there are people who love them. So it just comes down to knowing your table and knowing what your players are going to get.
And if you're playing in a place where you've got players you don't know at all, then you don't put anything elaborate. You can test it out. Drop a simple pit trap or a spike trap or whatever, and just see how they handle it. If they're like, oh shit, or they're bored, then you know right away to make it a little bit change in the narrative. Right?
Well, something's gone very, very terribly wrong, and it's like the kiss of death for your game. If they're like, I checked this 10-foot segment for traps. They roll the dice. You find no traps. Okay, next 10 feet. I do it again. I've experienced that.
Yeah, I don't need
Yeah.
that. I don't
You
need
know what
that.
that is, Jeremy? That is people who have played Tomb of Horrors too many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
You
that's
know,
the
the
only way to
last
survive that module is to check for traps every 10 feet.
Jason, the last time I ran that adventure, it was a 5-hour game, and they only made it into the first couple rooms about 3 hours in.
Yep.
Because they were so
'Cause that's the
paranoid.
only way to
Well, I did
survive,
I did the fake tombs first, and by that point they were like, "Fuck this," you know. It was wild.
Yeah.
So anymore,
I
if
mean-
I do run it again, it'll be all right. You're inside the thing, already going.
Well, that
you know what I mean?
that's designed to run as a tournament
Yeah, I know.
in a tournament environment.
Well, it was a grinder.
Yeah,
The story goes, and I don't know exactly how true this is, but the story
Oh,
goes that
that's-
Gary Gygax
that's
had
good.
encountered too many people that told him that they could handle anything he could throw at them.
Yeah.
So he decided
heard-
to create.
I've heard that too. That sounds like a bit of marketing to me.
What's that?
Dude, you never know anymore.
Yeah.
What's
That's
marketing?
how the story goes. I don't know how true it
Yeah.
is.
What's that?
Steve
That
Williams
Gary was tired of players being overconfident and saying they could do anything.
Oh,
bragging
okay.
that there was nothing he
Yeah.
could throw at them that
Yeah.
they couldn't
Uh,
handle. So he created Tomb of Horrors for a
Oh, I see.
convention module to be a grinder that he's
Yeah, you're not
arrogant
supposed to.
that
You're not
would
really supposed to
survive.
live through it. I mean, yeah, I suppose you can. Tell me the Gray Raven says, like the ideal of coming across a trap from a previous party, leaving traps behind them to make sure they aren't being followed. That's
Yeah.
that could work. I mean, they would have to be
That could
pretty
work.
simple trap. Like they
Yeah.
couldn't be like big mechanical things.
All right. So, question from Fosco Lockwright. I keep meaning to ask but forget in most streams. But are the bonus spells for high intelligence cumulative? For example, if you have
Yes.
17 intelligence,
Yes,
do
they
you get
are.
the bonus spells at the first and second level, or just second?
Yeah, it's
They're
cumulative.
cumulative.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because you can start with a spell that you don't know how to cast, which I think is kind of neat. And as you gain levels, you kind of like have this power that you're like, oh, someday I'm going to use it.
Oh, John asked, Agile Monkey asked, why is the Patreon game on Saturday at 8:30 a.m.? Because that's early. That's not even early. I get up at usually about 4
It's at
or
9
5
a.m.
here.
It's at 9
Yeah, it's
a.m.
at 9. Well, I mean, he's playing in it, so he's going to be at 8:30.
Make it at 6:30 a.m.
You want to know the true answer? It's the time that Chuck asked me to put it at. That's why. He's like, oh, I got a game in the afternoon. I can't do nothing no later.
Right, I can't. I've got people coming over here shortly after when we finish up that one.
Yeah.
That's why. But I know you guys don't really care or whatever. I'm just excited about it. And Agile, I sent you a link to that to the Reforged character sheet, which is on. Are you talking about? Oh, the form fillable. Oh, those. Yeah, we don't have any of those. You're talking about the ones that Mel did. They're not form fillable. We do not have those form fillable. I don't have anybody right now working on those. I've got someone working on one of the other character sheets, two of the character sheets.
You know, the talk of traps has reminded me of
What?
something I thought I had banished from my mind.
Uh-huh.
I was my first time playing D&D with rules, like actual mechanics where we understood what was going on was 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm not gonna throw any punches. Everybody knows. It was a very large group. It was like 12 people who didn't know what they were doing. So it was
Holy
very, very
shit.
slow. It was a very slow experience. The DM was very experienced and he was very patient with us, but it was just like this grueling thing. And he put us through this dungeon that was like, I think it was supposed to be some weird temporal thing where like the creatures in it were either mechanical or they like time froze or something when no one was in there. But the thing was just jam packed with traps. And we would go through a room and just trigger all of them. And then monsters would come into the same room and trigger none of them. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And he's like, oh, well, they know where they are and they move around them. And
Well,
but
how
all
smart
I could
are
think
they?
was,
Though?
well, no, I think they were like goblins or something. But all I could think was,
I don't know.
they live here. Why are there this is their home? Why is there
Yeah.
traps in the middle of the there's like 10 of them. It was like a
I
a
can
10 by
so
10 room.
seeing you thinking that in an adventure. I know how you think. I guarantee you were
It was like
breaking
a,
it
it was like
apart.
a, it was like a probably a
That's
it's probably like a 40 by 30 room, and they were like in random spots, all in like different squares, because you have to use the grid for 4th. You can't play it without the grid. So there was just like maybe 30% of all the grids in the room just randomly had like different traps in them that we couldn't see unless we inspected for traps.
Right.
And I was like, what is? And I've hated traps ever since. I think I've put one trap in any event. Probably
Some
3
of
traps
that
in any
is-
adventures I've ever read.
Some of that is a mindset that carries over all the way back from original Dungeons and Dragons. There's
Yeah.
actually rules like in original D&D, like the old wood grain and white box D&D. There was a rule in there. There was no infravision or dark vision or anything like that, but the rule said that any creature that's not a player character can see in the dark.
Yeah.
No player characters can see in the dark.
Yeah, wasn't there something that like the doors are only locked for the players or something like that?
Yes, and doors were only locked or stuck for players. They always
Right.
open for monsters.
Yeah.
But Jeremy, you hate traps, but I have every last Grimtooth book. I love traps.
I have
can't
the
get
big.
en-
Thick,
I
I have
love
the big
all
one.
of them. Man.
It's a funny book.
Oh my god!
Like, I think
love
it's
them.
fun,
I love
divorced
traps.
of gaming.
Someone got me a
Um,
trap book last year for Christmas too.
Davis.
Could you imagine how long it would? Okay, could you imagine how long it would take to actually build some of those traps? I mean, you.
Oh yeah, some of them are just crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? Somebody needs to create. We need to create a monster for this in one of our books. It would be like the Doozers from Fraggle Rock.
Yeah,
All they do is go around and build traps in dungeons.
that's great.
That's like their entire ecology. Is that they're these tiny little shitting things.
No.
Go around and build traps in dungeons.
No, so what they are, they're kind of like a mimic.
Isn't that
right, where
kobolds?
they lay their egg.
It is kind of like kobolds, yeah.
They lay their egg, and the egg hatches, and it's like a little trap. And as it gets bigger, it metamorphosizes into a more complicated mechanical trap, and then it gets bigger and bigger.
That's also a good idea.
So the older the dungeon, the more dangerous and more traps there, the more complicated and the more of them there are.
That's also a neat idea, yeah. And that would explain your traps in sewers.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it's all you've got a trap crawler infestation.
Right. That's funny.
So, though I suppose, like you think about it historically, I mean, who builds traps? I know that.
Yeah, what have you ran across, Mr. Archaeologist? You surely you've ran across some crazy shit over
I mean, they've been used in warfare. Like
they've been used in warfare, but not.
like you got the pit traps with like.
Aren't
Like
there
pun-
like ancient tombs that sometimes have traps in them to protect the treasures?
Yeah, there are a few like that, but they're actually sort of rare. And I think
Actually, Davis, you can tell me if this is true because I read somewhere and I don't remember where I read this. Somebody might have told it to me that they had found in China, in ancient China, like ancient Chinese tombs, they found stuff that was coated with poison ivy oil that was like thousands of years old and was still potent.
That's awesome.
Really?
Yes. There have been in China a few that were trapped. Yes, and there was that poison thing on one.
It was like poison ivy oil that was like still potent after like 1,000 years or something.
Yeah, I can't remember what the oil was, but there were a few. There was also, I thought, in Egypt in one of the tombs. Now it just like disabled over the years, but one of the a block was supposed to fall down. Like if someone had gotten that far up the hall and done something or whatever, a huge granite stone was supposed to slide in place behind them or something like that.
Crushing them or trapping them?
Trapping them.
Okay.
So you just suffocate.
Yeah, but those Tomb Raiders were so good. They didn't go through those tunnels. They just dug tunnels.
They just exploded the side of it.
Yeah, that's basically what they ended up doing.
What would be an adventure that we have in print? When Alwyn Man was asking that we would have in print or out there that would have a lot of traps in. I was trying to think of one. That would
Probably none of them.
I mean, there's traps, but they're not like loaded or anything. What's that?
Yeah, I wouldn't have any that are really loaded with.
None
traps.
of us are writers that way. Like none of the designers that work here, I think, really.
I love traps.
I've read
but
that.
I still use them.
I
still use them.
I've got one coming out with a lot of traps in it.
I got to write one.
Yeah, the first 70 feet of the dungeon, every 10 feet's a trap.
I once, when I was younger,
I'm serious too. It's like, and they do almost 10,000 points of damage if you set off all traps.
Nice. I once, when I was younger, created what I thought was the most devious trap.
Rick,
Like,
that's what I thought of too.
To this day, I cannot. I lost it, and I can't reconstruct it. But it was a trap that required one of the player characters to sacrifice their life in order to bypass the trap.
Crazy.
I have never, to this day, I've never been able to reconstruct that trap. I can't remember what I did, and I can't find the original.
I mean, I had in the old days when we were playing, I did a lot of traps because I just thought it was fun to torture the guys, right? And they would do stupid shit like take dead bodies and throw them ahead of them like goblins and shit, and use them to spring shit, which was smart, because they knew
you
I
get
was
30 pigs for.
Well, I was heavy into it, but nowadays, if I run something, usually it's got maybe a couple free traps or something. I don't know.
Traps
the problem is, if you use too many, then they freak out, and then all of a sudden, everybody's moving 5 foot, and that's all. They're stopping. They're looking around. and you've wasted 2 hours. Game time. Being
Whoa,
worried.
Agile Monk.
Oh,
thank
thanks so
you.
much. I
Holy-
appreciate that. Very
Holy
nice.
crow.
Holy
The,
crow. That's
Very
right.
cool. Yeah.
I think the only trap I use consistently is just a piece of tripwire at the top of a flight of stairs with a bunch of like pots and pans at the bottom.
Yeah.
So they trip and they
Oh,
take
right.
the damage from tumbling down the stairs. They hit
It
the
wakes
pans
up the
and
whole
it's a loud
dungeon.
noise,
Yeah.
and everything wakes up and comes and looks. That's as complicated as it gets for me.
Well, the one I've been using here lately is in that the adventure I've got somewhat halfway wrote now. I've play tested a bunch. Is the Tower of Savad, and in that adventure, in one part of it, you're basically ziplining across an open area. And when you land there, there's a trap there, and if you don't disarm the trap, it's just a falling block. The problem is it falls on the group, and if you get knocked off, you're falling a long ways, so you're going to die from the fall damage. That's instant. But I tell them ahead of time, you know. There's that. Let's see. Thank you, Agile Monk, for that. In honor of Davis is building 10,000 points of damage traps.
Oh, okay, but get this. There's an easy way around it because, like, there's things that live in the dungeon, okay?
Right.
Okay.
So, like, where the dungeon entry is, if you just go 50 feet to the left and move some brushes aside, there's another entry that's not trapped.
Oh, there you go.
It's just like Tomb of Horrors. There's 3 tombs, 3 entrances, and only one of them's real. You know, the other 2.
Yeah. And then there's one room that looks like it's trapped, but it's really not. It has all these multicolored floors on it, and the goblin king tells the goblin children to go just draw random pictures on each colored stone, so that it looks like there's like some kind of random trap.
Right, and I think there's. Wait, that's familiar. That's familiar. You wrote that in something else. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I've come across that in my bullshit. Not my bullshit, but my editing. I know about that. Because you just fuck with the players. Like, what does this mean?
Yeah, I'm just fucking with the players. Is all it is. It's one long goofy like screw fest. So that's all it is.
No, Fosco, I hadn't set it up yet. I'll get the invites out in the morning. We changed our plans on things a little bit, so I got to do that actually.
We did.
Yeah, I'll take care of it in the morning. And if you stop by the stream in the morning, I'll be talking about it. I'll talk about. We can answer questions about the stream, the Patreon game Saturday morning. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing Into the Dark from the starter set. So I'm looking forward to
Which
that.
he's definitely read.
Yep. I read it actually on my lunch break today. I was quite amazed at how deadly it was. Wow.
Yeah, sure. You and I both know you
Jake.
worked through your lunch break.
I take lunch breaks.
I know you do, but you work during them.
Yeah, I know. I don't ever really. I need to give a couple shout outs out here to some people.
Holy shit. Okay, here it is. Bahria Oasis Tomb. Explored a tomb in Bahria Oasis in 2001. His tomb encountered a sarcophagus surrounded by 8 inches of hematite powder. A sharp metallic dust that could cause severe illness or death if inhaled in large quantities.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they had to wear hazmat suits to go in there.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That's so cool.
And guys, if you would, for me, who's listening in, if you're in Discord, send me a DM tonight or after the stream.
Just in general.
If you're in the game,
Literally anybody.
If you're in the game Saturday morning, if you would please, that would be fantastic. Just because. You know. Oh, look, he's finally showing up here. Adam is finally. Where you been? All right. We need to do the giveaways and get out of here. I'm about to get in a lot of trouble with my wife.
Oh my God.
I know we've already went for an hour. Wow, you guys are awesome. The chat keeps us going, you know. All right, I'm gonna close the giveaways out.
I don't know. There were some dark times there. We were reading dad jokes.
I don't want to talk about dark times like those damn Beatles. You and your Beatles.
We had to reel it in.
I don't think a ladybug is a beetle. Maybe it is. I'm not sure.
Oh my God. Let's not. We'll wait. The next stream. We'll
Let's
talk
look it
about
up.
that.
Let's look it up. Is a ladybug a beetle?
Dude, Jeremy, who would ever?
Oh,
They
are
are.
you?
Okay. Yeah, it's a
Awesome,
beetle.
dude.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy, have you ever considered a career as an insectologist or whatever it's called?
An entomologist?
Yeah.
Entomologist.
No.
I think that's your calling, dude.
There's a lot of things.
I
that are
agree
my
100%
calling.
with you about that, Davis.
Listen, I thought biology was my calling, and then I failed microbio like 3 times.
Are you talking about Jason? Jason, yeah, Agile. Jason's in there. Just go to the AA channel. He posts in there, well, lately a lot. I'm sorry, it's not. Anyway, he's very popular in the AA channel. I think he likes the game, to be honest with you. Right, Jason?
I can't stand that freaking game.
All right, I'm gonna close the entries out here.
No, yeah. I talk about that all the time, how much I love that. I love AA. I'm so proud of it.
Oh mercy.
It's good
Can I
stuff.
play Ladybug Lady of the Night? No, you cannot. Yeah, sure, Savage. Absolutely. But have a backup character ready, okay? Jelly Cake says, my favorite trap was one of them for a wizard tower. It's a cool room of doors, just a room filled with doors with an hourglass in the middle that is countdown and a message that says something along the lines of, pick wisely or you're doomed. The hourglass can be reset by the PCs and all the doors are safe and lead to the same place. It's just a waste of time. All the doors lead right back to the room, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Right. That would be when you're stuck in this infinite loop. Oh, it's called life.
That's a good question, Odd One Man. There should be. I'll have to check and see. I had some stuff on Google Drive that was in the Discord for folks, but I'll have to see about that. They probably need to be updated. That's been 4 or 5 years ago. I'll see. I'll put that on my notes. Check about that.
Everybody's homework tonight. Go watch the movie Them, and then go watch the movie Aliens, and then write to me and tell me how much of a hack James Cameron is.
Yeah.
Wow, that's some strong language. Well, okay.
It's the same. I mean,
James Cameron is a hack. There's no
Yeah,
question. He's a highly stylish hack, and he's a very talented director.
He's a flashy hack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's pick these winners.
He absolutely does lift his inspirations from. I mean,
Yeah.
There is not an original thought that dropped out of that man's brain.
Avatar is literally Dances with Wolves in space.
And Dances with Wolves, Pocahontas, that kind of thing.
Wait, has anyone watched Avatar?
Yes.
Apparently, 1 billion people.
I'd have never met anyone who's watched it.
Yeah, I actually when they re-released it, I took my wife to see it in the theater because we hadn't seen it, and I was disappointed that I spent the money.
I saw it in theaters when it came out, and I think it was the first Real D movie I ever saw because I switched the technology to what they called Real D.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the future of movies. I was so blown away by it. I was like, this is amazing. This is the best movie I've ever seen. Then we rented it on video and watched it on our shitty home television, and nobody could get through it. It was so boring. So it's just the experience. It's entirely the visuals.
And I think what did me in was that we did see it in 3D, but by the time I had seen it, it was on a re-release.
Yeah.
3D was so
common. You had to see it when it came out.
Yeah, there was nothing new about it. And I'll tell you what, after having seen the single greatest movie I've seen in terms of 3D, the Real D 3D, that really took my breath away.
Was it Friday the 13th?
No, the Tron Legacy.
Tron Legacy looks great in 3D.
Took my breath away when it went to 3D.
That good?
Yeah.
That and I think like it released around the same time as Avatar, but the How to Train Your Dragon movie, I saw that in Real D as well, like around the same time. And it could be that I was just new to the technology, but I was like super blown away by that too.
All right, let's let Chuck finish the giveaways.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Chuck.
That's a secret. Every Tron movie is only okay.
Sorry. So there's going to be there'll be a link that pops up in the Discord for the Discord whenever I do these giveaways. If you're new to us, just click the link, goes to Discord, and you will tag or ask around for Obsidian Risk. He will get you a code. You can private message him. You can ask him, talk shit about him. That usually gets him out really quick. All right, so let's see here. Let's do the first two codes are going to be for $15. First winner is Malaki, always hanging out.
You just won yourself a free copy of the Tron Legacy soundtrack on CD.
On cassette tape.
On Discogs.
The second winner will be, and Malaki knows very well you're full of shit, is going to be Lucius. Good job, Lucidius. I haven't seen you won in a while. That's excellent. That's the two $15. And then the last one will be for $25. Pocahontas in Space.
and a
Jacob,
copy
you're not
of
wrong.
Space. The winner of this gets a copy of Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone on VHS.
I have that on DVD. I love that movie.
I have it on DVD too.
Michael
on VHS.
I love
it too.
Michael,
I know, Jeff, you're right. All right, final winner for $25. Here we go. Boom! Savage Splendor. Holy shit.
Savage.
Way to
You
rock.
got a strip of electric or iron magnetic powder coming your way, sir.
He does. Well, guys, I'm going to set us up a raid. We're going to raid into Phantom.
Get
New
your
Jersey
VCR ready.
and go see him.
Not anyways, because it just kicked me out to a commercial. So
I need a movie to watch tonight.
I'm
What
gonna
movie
add
should I
too.
watch?
Yeah, ask Jeremy. He'll
You
give you a
should-
good one.
Watch them. Watch them. Watch them and watch Aliens.
Congrats, everybody. And
What kind of movie do you want to
there's
watch?
the raid.
I don't know.
Set up.
What do you
Some,
like?
I hardly like anything anymore. It's really hard for me to like. Yeah. Okay. So is it me, or are movies just there's not a lot of good movies? now?
Both probably would be my.
I
guess.
actually think there's all kinds of good movies.
Wait,
There's
hold
great movies
on.
out
Let
there.
me share my thoughts. Appreciate everybody.
Ooh, no.
Give Rob a good follow over there. We'll check you guys in the morning at my stream at 9:30 Central, 8:30. 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. You guys have a great week.